In a world where we are constantly faced with the possibilities of chaos and destruction, both on a psychological level and a physical, literal level, it seems as if those moments of complete peace and flow and surrender to the present moment are sometimes few and far in between. For some of us, we come across these moments more than others, particularly if we have a devotion to personal development and self-inquiry, where we are training our brains to focus on this state of meaning, this state of flow, that we are in an understanding that if we do not be proactive about what it is that we want to feel and be in life, that life will just put us on to the default automatic state. And this default automatic state is the state that most people in society find themselves in. Martin Heidegger, the great philosopher of the 20th century, called this the they. In other words, the they is the societal construct we all have in our minds. The they, what they think, what they do. It's the mainstream. It's the style of our consciousness that's enmeshed with what others are doing and thinking. It's our response to the pull, the gravitational intensity of societal belief systems and societal structures, which is often surface level and doesn't go deeper than the average everyday experience. It fails to introspect on a level of wisdom and soulfulness. It keeps us floating aloof atop the sea of consciousness, but never really understanding the depths beneath us. And that is the unexamined life. And as Socrates so wisely put, the unexamined life is not worth living. But the unexamined life is also easier. It's so much more comfortable to do what's automatic, to go to that default state. However, it's not meaningful. And I've been reflecting on this a lot lately. Because of course I feel in myself the urge every day to go into the comfortable automatic state. Because it's always lingering there as a temptation. And this temptation is the temptation to cover my own authenticity over for the sake of avoiding suffering and pain. But I've realized the great irony in it all, that in the avoidance, I really don't avoid anything. I simply fester like a wound that has been infected. That is the default state if left on its own with no attention to the soul. It's just an open wound that's slowly rotting away. And so I've been thinking, well, I could live the unexamined life. I could do things and just act and participate without giving it any extra consideration. But am I really avoiding anything? Oftentimes, I watch myself in my fleeing away from discomfort, in my wanting things to be easier. And I just realize how discontent I am when I'm in that state of mind. But then I have this moment of clarity. If I embrace the life in front of me and get outside of my own selfish desires, which is always thinking about my own comfort, my own wants, my own needs, my own sense of security, my own sense of self-esteem. And I realize I'm not thinking about something greater than myself. I'm not serving a beautiful purpose. I'm only in self-service, and in my self-service I become miserable, and suffering becomes more likely because living a life of self-centeredness is essentially meaningless. even though the short-term benefit is it's a little more comfortable, but the long-term consequence is hell. And so if you're someone out there who's struggling with your own self-development, who's wondering what the meaning of all this is, who's wondering if it's worth it to continue trudging forward and claiming your purpose on this path, there really is no escape from suffering, no matter which direction you turn in, so you might as well embrace it. Because in the avoidance of it, it is just absolutely unbearable. But that's the great trick that the mind plays on itself. The great trick is that if we could somehow escape, if we could somehow make it easier, if we could somehow get away, then everything would be better. But in that self-deception, there is really nothing but trouble. So facing it head on, looking it in the eye, squaring up, making soul-directed choices of what the next best thing to do is. Thank you. This is Sorting Myself Out. My name is Ryan Holsapple. You can hit the like button. You can hit the subscribe button, the notification bell if you want to stay tuned. You can leave a comment if you have anything to say, if you have anything to share. We hope that you have a wonderful week, the rest of your week. And we also want you to know that there's a donation button in the description if you want to support us. I'll be continuing to provide content, and my partner Mercury Black will be here as soon as he can. Have a wonderful day.